volume good now? At least it's moving on my end, so I think it's at least picking up my voice. It feels pretty bad, I admit. Hello, can you guys hear me? Please confirm my voice. Please. No audio. Oh, thank heavens. I guess the people that can't hear me, I should type to. Alright. So now that that awesome debacle got fixed, I don't know why my mic decided to disable itself since the last time I did this, but okay. As you can see, I am not Grava, and I am his inferior streamer Zantai, who doesn't even know how to set up a mic apparently. Today, we're going to go over the early game of the Inquisitor, just like a few weeks ago we went over the Necromancer. So as you can see here, I actually got myself to level 2 already, so we're just going to hop right into that skill tree and you're going to get a look at some of those numbers. Now, if you're a fan of using 2 guns, you'll be happy to know that Inquisitor starts out with the ability to do that from level 2. And I'm actually going to take a point in that, and as soon as we find another gun, we're going to get right in there. The other thing we're going to start with is something called the Stormbox of Elgoloth. And that's a neat little debuff ability that hits enemies around the target you cast it on. And there we are. Oh, sweet pants. Now we're set for life. When do I expect you'll see all these changes? We're not ready to announce the expansion's release date yet, but all this stuff is coming with the first expansion, which we're actively working on and are working on releasing this year. It's way too quiet in this chat. You guys don't seem to be excited enough. How was that the excuse? How many mastery slots are you going to get? Well, we're certainly going to give you more, since if we don't, you would eat us. But, not like 100 or something, I don't know, maybe 10 more? And yes, this is the Inquisitor, first look of the early game. Starring me, some guy who works here. You want to see the Inquisitor skill icons? Alright. Let me open that skill tree up again, so I did just gain a level. Yeah, some guy who didn't put a mythical effect on Solar End. Hydrogen bomb? I think it's a little bit ahead of their time. Now, for the Stormbox of Elgoloth, the transmuter you can get for it is some nice synergy for the Arcanist class, and Necromancer actually, since you can turn the lightning damage fully into ether damage. Now, since we are going to use some guns here, I'm actually going to pick up the first of the Inquisitor's weapon pool skills, sorry, and that's Bursting Ground. They are independent because they work with any ranged weapon. They actually work with a single one-handed weapon, they work with dual guns, and they work with two-hand range weapons. They're not restricted. It does work with guns only, yes. These are all bullet-based WPS skills. There's 3 of them in total, and we just picked up the first one, which is fire-based. Nightblade dual wield is still for melee only, and that's not going to change. The Stormbox is a debuff effect that you cast on a target, and then it pulses damage from that target onto nearby enemies. Yeah, we're doing a community outreach where we let noob streamers stream. It's good for PR. Early access remains to be seen. The expansion does have an official name, but I don't think I'm going to tell you yet. Maybe if we hit like 200 people watching or something. Correct. Whirling Death does not affect Inquisitor abilities. We're not planning to make any major changes to old areas, no. We want you guys to move on to the new stuff. Grim Dawn Rise of the Ulgrim Clones. That sounds like a pretty good name, actually. I might have to change it. The skills I'm using on the Inquisitor so far are the Stormbox of Elgoloth, the Ranged Expertise ability, which allows me to dual-wield ranged weapons, and I picked up the first Weapon Pulse proc, which apparently needs its effect updated because it looks like lightning. And I'll open up that skill tree in a second here, and you can see again. Super secrets in the expansion. If they were super secret, why would we tell you they exist? Grim Dawn, Return of the Grubble King. Pretty epic. So here's Stormbox. Here we've got Bursting Round. And Ranged Expertise. Can we expect the DLC before fall? I guess we'll find out. Leading box? Is there a story there I'm missing? Can we expect the patch before the expansion? There will very likely be a bridging patch that makes some background changes and improvements that will fall into the base game from the work on the expansion. Aw man, I got a devotion point. I guess I'll have to open up the devotion tree and scroll around and pick something. Can you build an Inquisitor on auto attacks? I think you would be able to. You might want to combine it with some sort of weapon attack replacer, like the Fire Strike or something from an item. Where to go? What should we do? Crossroads looks so exciting. We should just put all our points in Crossroads, I think. Yeah, Oh look, is that a toad? That sure looks like a toad to me. And that's a new one. That looks like a quill. Feather with ink!
Not ready.
55 is the new devotion cap, yes. I don't see why you couldn't build an Inquisitor for melee. He has a good amount of abilities that work in close range, such as the Purifying Flame, or sorry, what is known as the Flames of Ignifar. I keep calling it Purifying Flame because that's what we called the ability initially. Fire coming out of my right ear. That's because I haven't had a chance to make my lighting better. And the green screen is getting worse and worse as the day goes by. I don't think I actually went over a second weapon pool skill yet. But yeah, sure, let's just hover right over there. It's called Chilling Rounds. Where are we at with the expansion? Still have a lot of world building left to do. We're currently finalizing all of the quest scripts, which we'll then send off to the audio guys to record. The quests are pretty much functional at this point, but there's still a lot of polish left to do on that. A lot of itemization, data entry, final polish. So it's still a good amount of stuff left to do, but we're making great progress. I don't even know what kind of percentage I could tell you for that. I mean, the world map that we made is so massive, I don't think we'll ever fill it. But in terms of how much of the world the expansion covers versus the base game, I would say we're getting pretty close to 40 to 50% of the base game's size in terms of environment. You would take a wild, crazy guess, and you would be correct, because that one is called Storm Spread. Expect 5? I think by Expect 5 they're going to have to come up with some sort of resurrection ritual to bring me back to life. This is a paid expansion. We're not ready to talk about the price quite yet, but you can expect it's going to be less than the base game. Given its size, it'll probably be at least $10. The fire weapon proc is the one of the AoE, yes, but the other ones can hit multiple enemies with the spread. It's getting pretty big, a little too big almost. I don't know what we were thinking, we're crazy. 2 masteries, giant expansion, way too many items, we're crazy. How else are we going to support Grava's bridge building habits? You're right, I mean, gotta pay for that somehow. So since we just unlocked a new row of skills, I suppose I should show you something new there, huh? So first up we got Word of Renewal. which is the Inquisitor's one of the Inquisitor's support abilities. It works sort of similarly to the Blood of Dreek skill for Occultist in that it heals you and nearby allies, and also gives you some additional stats to boot. And we're going to put a point in that. And I suppose because it's fun to look at, I'm going to put a point in Flames of Ignifar. Actually, let's put it right here. Now chat's really going. I'm having a hard time keeping up. We have some new mechanics coming in, but they're mostly for bosses. But I mean, there's some new stuff that's going in, like Stormsped is using a new weapon pool proc. Flames of Ignifar require a new type of skill. Stormbox and its modifier, which we'll get to hopefully before the end of the stream, is definitely all new. So yeah, there's all sorts of new stuff. The way the skeletons are summoned for Necromancer is new, because it randomizes them, and an additional one of the modifiers for the ability is also completely new. You will be able to keep using mods with the expansion. There's no reason why you wouldn't be able to. In fact, I expect there'll be new mods, there'll be more stuff to do. The max number of summons is kind of an open-ended question. It really depends on what items you get and how you combine everything. Because there's some items that have summons that don't really have a cooldown, but it really depends on how often you can trigger them. How many undead summons? That will also depend on items, actually, because there's going to be some item skill modifiers that increase the cap on how many skeletons you can have up at the same time. Scrap that we find just one. Quick word on Eldritch. What's the question? There we go. Burninate everything. I forgot to put a point in this. I have thought about that exact question actually in regards to summoner playstyles, and that is why we took kind of a different approach with the Necromancer. Their core summons, the skeletons, are not permanent pets, so you have to maintain that army at all times. Necromancer also has a lot of active abilities that not only do damage to enemies, but they also boost your pets in various ways. So one of them, for example, is whenever you do damage with that ability, you gain a temporary buff that increases your damage and the damage of your pets. In addition, there's an ability that does a ton of upfront damage, and it also summons a temporary wraith. So that, I think, will do a lot to keep summoner playstyles more active in combat. But if you prefer the other way, you can always go more for an occultist shaman combo approach and let pets do most of the work. Eldritch is... I mean, that's a realm. The Eldritch realm is the source of magic for witches, warlocks, occultists. Any new gear-only spells? Of course there's gonna be new gear-only spells. Are you kidding? This is Grim Dawn. Burn everything. Nice glasses, thank you. It's the same ones I wore last time, but you know, they just get better with age. Yes, for anyone interested in playing the Burn the Heretic build, Inquisitor is definitely right up your alley. Monster infrequent items will have skill modifiers, yes. Will you be able to use that pocket flamethrower with a shield? Yes, you will be able to use it with a shield. It does not have an item requirement. Man, now I don't even want to keep using my guns. I just want to set everything on fire.
My inventory is full.
Can I try the sweet cold rune trap? I guess I could. Typically, if there's a skill modifier in an item, that is usually going to be the only item that has that particular skill modifier, but there will be multiple skill modifiers for most skills. So you might want to combine them or pick one or both. Come on, let's get... Alright, I'll put a point in the Rune of Hagarad, the ice rune trap, just so you can show you guys. But really I want to work towards this, the lightning tether. Ah, right. We have a bit of a code glitch here. We'll have to skip that for now. There we go. Rune of Hagarad. We will very likely update the Crucible with the expansion, but that's going to be a post-release update. What we would like to do is add some of the new expansion monsters to it, which would probably involve adding some more waves, I suppose. But like I said, our priority right now is to get the expansion out to everybody, and then we're going to go back to the Crucible and make changes there.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 200 wave of the Crucible will just be 5 McDragons.
I can't carry anymore.
Oh, fine. I suppose I should go back and sell.
The dead attack a creep. I need some time to.
I'll give you a good price on what I've got left. Put it to good use.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll be adding anything like that to the mastery part now.
Yeah.
Come on, walk into the trap. Charge me! That's right, Inquisitor gameplay of Lord Sentai. The lightning, yeah, the Stormbox of Elgoth is, I guess, sort of like giving a harmful aura to an enemy, yes. So how many people are we up to? At least 3,000, right? Surely. Level 85 tonight? No problem. Speedrun, right? Burn the Slith. Can we see the transmuter for Word of Renewal? Alright. So if you're a fan of two-handed weapons, whether that's guns or melee, you can take this little improvement to Word of Renewal. That will give you a nice little boost to the frequency with which you can use it, and energy regeneration. $72-hour stream. All it takes is just a few codes and I'm 85. The stash is expanding, yes. You're going to have multiple stash tabs on the personal stash, and you're going to get an additional stash tab for the shared stash. No cheating? What was the fun in that? I didn't work this hard so I couldn't cheat. Alright, here we go. Getting the lightning tether for Stormbox. Well, so you guys made me take this, I suppose I might as well make this ability better too. Unfortunately, I don't think the increase in the stash will have any impact on your personal mustache, Cabral. Yes, we are increasing the stash storage space. Oh, and now there's a cat. Thankfully, this one does not shit on my floor. Oh, I thought you said I'm the former Inquisitor. Like, I don't know about that. Kaiman's Chosen are not Inquisitors. Not all of them, anyway. Do I shit on the floor? No, I'm afraid not. I'm potty trained. So what the lightning tether does is any enemy you target with Stormbox will cause you to be tethered to it. And so long as it's alive, anything that the tether passes through takes damage. Will increasing the map size screw the leveling process? I don't see why it would. Do all devs have cats? You know, they all just might. Well, since we have traps, might as well set them up before we start this shrine. There we go. Welcome to Earth. Do I have my favorite class? I don't know. I haven't really thought about it since adding the expansion classes. I might be into Nightblade Necromancer. That is a fun one. Well, if you don't want to pick up the game till you know when the expansion is coming, that's on you. I'm not going to stop you. I can't exactly. The expansion will come out when it's ready. That's all I can really tell you. Projectile speed on debuffs. I'm not sure it was meant to be used that way. We'd have to try it. We don't have any plans to change how the difficulties work. Hirelings like in Diablo 2. That's something we've thought about. Wasn't really in the cards for this expansion. If we look into another expansion, I suppose that's something that might be on the table again, but I can't say it this time. What's Grava doing to my desk during the stream? I don't know. I'm literally at my desk, so it'd be hard for him to sneak in here. Second passage to Word of Renewal. What is this? Reveal everything day? Yeah, alright. The first modifier to Word of Renewal is called Vigor. Are we going to do something special for 1 million copies sold? I guess we'll find out, won't we? Well, you don't get the second one. If your vigor is getting bigger, you may want to see a doctor. If you're talking about auto-tech replacers, the Inquisitor does not have one. Strange key before I even got there, yep. That's right. Inquisitor is actually has a buff to drop rates, it's a fact. That's not actually true. A wand of wonder? Yes, you will need to own the base game to play the expansion. It is not a standalone product. You'll likely be able to purchase a combo that includes the base game with the expansion, but the expansion itself will be a DLC for the base game. Suffix for what? Oh, that one. That little thing. Combo with the second expansion. Well, I think the second expansion has to exist first. What's a good combination for my Inquisitor? Suppose I might go Demolitionist for this one. Get myself Fire Strike. If you unlock more than 50 shrines in the base game, you will still have to unlock new shrines in the expansion, just like anybody else. You do not get them retroactively, but there will be enough shrines in the expansion for you to reach the new cap. If I could make as many expansions as I wanted, it's kind of a difficult question. I mean, at some point it might make more sense to call something a sequel than an expansion. Nah. Oops. Let's put another point in you. No second word of renewal passive today. Nope. GD3 confirmed? Oh my god. Are there any new auto-tech replacers? Not from the masteries, but you will be able to find some new ones on equipment. This thing living inside a Grimdawn illustration? Oh, nothing. Nothing at all. Will the blacksmith and tyrant's hold still be there? I don't see why not. patch log? What patch are you talking about? Well, Grimcalc isn't managed by us, so we would literally have to send someone outside of the company our info in the expansion. If when the expansion is out and somebody doesn't make a Purge the Unclean build, I'm going to be very disappointed. Wait, did I already go in here? Yes, I did. Any way to get a range increase on flames? Maybe. Grim Dawn 2 on Nintendo Entertainment System. Coming 20 years ago? Hey, I'll have you know my Purifying Flame is as long as it needs to be. A lot of secrets and lore. What is this? Not Grim Dawn? Come on. Did you forget what game we're playing? Yes. Cat Toss, new ability. There will not be a way to reset a mastery. That just does not make sense. Do we hate cats? Yes, but they hate us back. Attribute reset system. Well, yes, actually, that is coming with the expansion. Pure class play is something we're not actively supporting. That is not a feature of the game. The idea is that you pick 2 masteries. You're welcome to make a pure mastery class, but you're effectively skipping out on something that is part of the game. Hey, if you want to beat the game without masteries, you be my guest.
That skill's not ready.
Ah, 4 more levels for that. A half point past 95, that's right. A half a skill point. Skeletal camel pad, that's just ridiculous. Where would you get such a ridiculous idea?
That skill's not ready.
Has there been any thought about GD port to consoles? Well, yes, since we've actually already talked about an Xbox One port on the forums, and that is coming. It is being actively worked on as we speak. Well, no, I mean, I'm not involved with it, so yes, actively. I am pretty ridiculous, that's true. At least I'm not a renegade. Can the necromancer whack mobs with a tombstone? We didn't think of that one, I'll give you that. Will the port cause the PC version to be dumbed down? No, it will not, because it is literally not the same development process. We're not going to be making any changes to the base game for the PC just because it's coming to console. If anything, you'll see some improvements in the PC version because working on the Xbox One port means we do have to improve DirectX 11 support, and it'll probably mean better controller support for those that are interested in that. But beyond that, no changes. Still going to be balanced the exact same way. Going to have the exact same itemization. I don't know if Grindon specifically has any feelings on camels. I mean, if I had anything to say about it. Getting rid of rubber banding? Rubber banding is a issue from latency. Since you're not connected to a server when you play Grim Dawn, I don't know what you mean. So it's been a while, and we haven't shown some of the new people that have come in what the skill tree looks like, so let's open that up again. So, among my repertoire today, we have the Stormbox of Elgoloth, and its modifier, the Lightning Tether. We have the Rune of Hagarad, the Flames of Ignifar. We have the Ranged Expertise, which allows me to dual-wield guns right from the start. A Bursting Round weapon pull skill, and the Word of Renewal support ability. Something really satisfying about burning all the slip.
I can't do that yet. My energy is low.
I sure hope not. You're right, a sandwich on the ground is in fact technically free as well. Favorite game of all time, man, I don't know. That's a tough one. Certain prefixes and suffixes are in fact weighted differently. It is not an equal chance across the board. The reason you might be seeing things like alacrity and celerity more frequently of late is because we actually removed a lot of the less desirable things from the loot pool. Things that you won't really be using towards the higher levels, for example. Nah, crap, Dickie's here. Better stop the fun. The Inquisitor is focused on fire, lightning, and cold, and I guess combining all three to make elemental. However, you can transmute some stuff to get ether and chaos. Necromancer is primarily focused on vitality and ether, with some support for cold and poison. And yes, Pierce for Inquisitor as well. Strafing would require WASD controls to do properly, so no. Passive from World of Renewal. I showed that earlier, right here. Aren't you paying attention, Dickie? Chthonian. Chthonian, Cthan, Kaiman's Chosen, Korvac, McDrogan, any others? Ultos. Get in there, guys. Get in there. There we go. Musalak. But that is actually based on a real place. It's a mountain. Flame Trap. I don't know about that. Iskandra. Burn all the slith. I cannot pronounce that one. I think that might be in Chthonic. No problem, thanks for stopping by. A slith fetish? I don't know about, yeah, that's why I'm burning them all. Definitely a fetish. Do you burn things you fetishize about? Ouroboros. Amarasta. Man, we're just gonna pronounce all the things today, aren't we? Who needs shoulder piece? Well, apparently not me, since I don't have enough physique to wear these yet. Albrecht. I'm guessing a little bit on that one. I didn't actually come up with that name. Now say a spoiler. Albrecht. I could see one or the other. I'm not reading that one. This is a family-friendly stream, I'll have you know. Probably not. Alright, now that we've gained another level, I think it's time to go a little evil of this Flames of Ignifar stuff. There we go, time for some Tainted Flame of Ignifar. For those that want a little chaos in their lives, I guess. Oh yeah, I look totally just like Grava when I'm not wearing a hat.
This kid's not ready. My inventory is full.
Little known fact that those golems actually have iron cores. That's why they're conductive. This Diablo patch? Ouch.
Oh, hello, traveler.
Does it really count as burning the heretics anymore when I'm using a heretical spell? Yes, there are new low-level epics specifically for the new classes. And some old epics have been updated with bonuses for the new classes as well. That, however, will be retroactive. Yeah, I suppose depending on who you ask, I'm still burning heretics, just different ones. There are new relics. Some sweet microtransactions. I thought you'd never ask, no. There are new components, but they will be crafted only. I mean, we already have components for socketables. I don't think it makes sense to add another type. And actually, augments are technically socketables too. So between those, I think might be a little bit too much socketable stuff.
Move along now, stranger.
Augments for components? What is this, componentception? Pair of black angel wings? You're gonna have to tell me more about that request. Sounds like somebody needs a mod. A tiny gazer man. That would be pretty great. Merge components to make epic components. I mean, that's kind of what crafted components already are. Fire-focused legendary pistols. Off the top of my head, I think there are at least a couple. But they would probably not just be pure fire. That's not very common for legendaries to be just one damage type. Chain lightning? Not exactly, so it doesn't literally chain. A skill that throws rocks. High aspirations, I see. The Inquisition in Grim Dawn is not a religious organization. So you're thinking like something that drops from a particular enemy that's fire-based?
I can't do that yet. Yeah.
Tell us the names of the new nemesis. I don't remember them off the top of my head. Plus, we're probably gonna have to change the names because we have to update them based on each designer's, or not designers, each developer's idea. A legendary Spanish Inquisition set. That would be appropriate, I suppose. The Beast Faction nemesis is not named Tarzan.
That skill's not ready. I can't do that yet. My inventory is full. That skill's not ready.
Yeah, why would they kill their creator? That's like, why would you make them without having a failsafe built in, you know? Korvac is the creator? That's a bold statement. See guys, this is why we can't show nice things when Dickie's around. He's so mean. Well, good news, Dickie. Unfortunately, we are running out of time, so we are actually going to stop here before you can see all the stuff you've already seen. Oh, is that all? Alright, well that was the first look at the starting levels of the Inquisitor Mastery. Hope you guys liked what you saw. We are going to put this up on YouTube later for those that missed it or came in late. Is there any last questions before we stop for today? And you know what? Fine, let's pick up the Rune of Callus store before we sign off. There are some smaller sets in the expansion, yes. Can I show the Inquisitor's exclusive skills? Probably not today. Do we consider ourselves on schedule? Well, if we stop making it bigger, I suppose we would be. A trap build? You could make a trap build between shaman totems or demolitionist mortars and fire traps, thermite mines. And these guys, yeah, you could definitely make a trap build. What happens if there are two Inquisitors and the Fluxus cross? You know, I have no idea. Maybe they'll make a power plant? We do not have any news on early access for the expansion quite yet. That's still sort of up in the air. Second passive World of Renewal? I don't know. Well, glad you guys liked it. We'll probably be doing some more streaming next week. See you guys then, and thanks for stopping by. See you guys next time.